So here we are getting ready and heading out to Chattanooga, Tennessee today. Gonna go see some fun things out there, a cave. We're gonna go check out some other landmarks as well. Check it out, we got the 21-inch wheels on this, and this is the Hulk green color. Kind of a cool color, hard to tell here, but I'll go ahead and hop in the car. It's one of my favorite features on the S that we'll get on momentarily is that right there, the auto present handles. But we are Chattanooga bound. Say hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Don't forget to close the garage, Kim.
Oh. That is another thing about having a loaner car.
Yeah, it's not like the X that closes the garage door for you as you pull out, so
well, I guess it doesn't really close it for you when you pull out. You still have to hit that on your screen.
I actually have my setting enabled to auto close.
Oh.
Are we stuck between recycle trucks today?
Yeah. This is like, typically it's like construction on our road, but today it's all the recycling trucks, which I really don't.
Well, we're thinking green, all right. Okay. So we are fully charged. It was actually a 262 when we pulled out. And what's interesting about that number, this is a P85 Plus. 262 miles fully charged with range mode enabled. And difference between the range mode on this car versus our Model X is that this being a two-wheel drive car, a rear-wheel drive car, the benefit of range mode is just that it reduces climate control power, but it does not distribute torque between the front motor and rear motor to improve range. So interesting little side note with these non-all-wheel drive cars, but yeah, we are at 100% getting the same at this P85 Plus that our 90DX gets. And of course this one has 21-inch wheels. It's lower to the ground, and you know, the other one is a higher up, weighs more, so those 5 kilowatt hours essentially get you the same range.
And the kids were breaking our snack rule because it's a loaner car.
There's our P85 Plus right here. It's got a VIN ending in the 26,000s, which I say it's probably a late 2013 build, going into early 2014. Very aptly named the Hulk because it's that now discontinued green color, very subtle green, almost looks like a charcoal color from the outside, but that is this is the Hulk. But Kim was just saying she feels a little bit of difference with this and the X.
Yeah, there is a few differences. First, the dash is very different. I'm used to the X that tells me the speed limit, and it's actually really nice to have that feature even when I'm not using autopilot, especially when you're driving in an area you're not familiar with and you don't know what the speed limits are. It's really nice just to be able to look down at your dash and see that. So that's one of the first like obvious differences I've noticed right away. Other things that I've noticed, just switching lanes so far, this car seems slightly zippier. That's the technical term there.
Zippier it is, yeah. The P85 Plus is 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Our 90DX is 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. So Kim noticed a 0.8 second difference.
Yeah. And then one of the other things, again, this car doesn't have autopilot, and you were talking about a feature a few seconds ago.
Yeah, so without autopilot, it almost feels naked when you're in this car driving it without autopilot, because there is no auto emergency braking. Obviously there's no radar, ultrasonic sensors. There's no side avoidance impact collision detection. Just lane keeping, lane assist, no advanced cruise control. So I mean, it's old school driving with Model S gizmos. So it's just an interesting perspective to drive it and not have all those perks that the current S's and X's have. But some of the things we noticed in kind of comparisons to the X, one in particular, you know, you look at the seat backs right here, the matte finish on the seat backs versus the shinier finish. We're thinking about getting our X wrapped on the seat backs, so more, you know, fingerprint resistant and all that. But I just like the matte finish on it. the door handles, if you can see through the window, of course, the Model S has the auto present door handles that stick out when you approach the car and go back in when you get back in the car. And that's a feature that I really like because something about just being able to pull on the door handle when you first get in the car and getting in, as opposed to pressing a button to get in, it is nice. With that said, I absolutely, and I think Kim agrees with this, really enjoy the auto close, where you put your foot on the brake and it closes.
It's funny how features like that you would have never even thought about before, but now that you have them, you're like, this is amazing. Like, this just seems natural. Why has no one ever thought of this before?
Yeah.
But I guess that's what Elon is famous for.
So, the on-screen display where it allows you to open and close all the doors in the car, that turns out to be handy if, somebody steps inside the house, for example, to grab something. They often do, and the door is still left open, and you don't want the cabin to heat up or cool off. You're supposed to reaching over, pulling the door in, and just tap on the screen. We've noticed that a couple times with the kids when they get in. You can just get in here and then close it from up here. So little things like that with the having the motorized door controls makes it really nice to be able to have access to.
And right here we're in traffic. Autopilot would have been actually really nice.
Yes.
We're sitting in this traffic right here.
Yes.
One other thing I actually just noticed while you were talking, and now we're slowing down, you don't notice it as much, but this car definitely seems louder. I feel like I can hear the outside traffic and everything.
Well, I'll tell you what you're hearing more so is actually a product of the 21-inch wheels.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, so your bigger wheels are definitely going to be louder. There's less tread to go around. They wear within 10 to 20,000 miles, depending on your driving habits versus 30 plus.
Nice,
they look very nice. They have, it is a nice, it's a trade-off. A couple things about it besides the road noise, if you're contemplating going with the bigger wheels that are very aesthetically pleasing, is that they also reduce your range. On the X, 10 to 15% less range. On the S, I'm not certain on the number, but it does reduce your range quite a bit. And of course, the cost of replacing those tires more frequently adds up as well. The road noise is there, and curb rash is notorious on those bigger wheels. This particular car, when the loaner folks at Tesla dropped that off on the curb, they notated the curb rash on this car. Larger wheels.
That is avoidable if you're really paying attention.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone at some point or another hits a curb trying to park.
I know I do.
So, some of the observations there. Some of the glaring differences that go without saying is your standard size windshield here, as opposed to the big sky windshield, and things that you don't notice, but once you get into this car or any other car after the X, you immediately notice it. It almost feels like you have a baseball cap on or have blinders on, so it does. So it does. It's weird because you're naturally not ever really looking up here, but your peripheral is always looking up there, and once that opens up, you feel like you're almost in the comfort of your living room with nothing impeding your visual cues. So it's kind of it's hard to explain, but get into an X, get into another car, and you'll notice it instantly. So it feels a little claustrophobic in that sense when you're in this. Of course, there's a large windshield above here, but again, the gap in between is where enhancement in the view really changes everything with the X. So that's something that I really, really enjoy. And of course, the form factor is different. A lot of people prefer the low-slung, sportier S look as opposed to the taller, bulkier X look. So it's something that, we're going right there, Chattanooga. That's your exit, Kim. Just keep that in mind. 285. But that's the cool thing with Tesla. See, most people will let you have respect. They'll let you change lanes in front of them. With the Leaf, as soon as you try to do that, they'll just go faster and be like, run out of batteries. But that's the cool part. With both the S and the X, I've noticed is that people let you change lanes in front of them.
So Chattanooga, here we come. Not Reno.
Not Reno.
Going this weekend.
I know. I know, Reno is the
I
place.
really wanted to go, so we did get invited to go to the Gigafactory, but we have 2 small kids, and it's really difficult to find someone that can take them for a weekend, and we don't have family that lives here. So we did find a sitter, but it was very last minute, and at that point it was just, you know, not going to happen.
Yeah, so look at these seats. These are the sportier with the red piping on the edges, the P85 Plus seats. They're not as comfortable as the X's seats. The next generation S seats that are currently out that you can get are a little more comparable. The X definitely has the most comfortable seats, in my opinion. But they're kind of a cool sporty seat.
I think they are cool. I think they would look even better perforated, which may have been an option. Probably was.
I don't know. I don't know if perforated was an option initially, but I mean, you would think this car being fully loaded, as it seems to me, would have had that as well. But
I love the look of the perforated, but